Just before midnight on Tuesday, 1.02 million doses of the AstraZeneca Oxford COVID-19 vaccine arrived at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi. Over the past several months, COVAX partners have been supporting government around the world in preparation for a moment like this in Kenya. The vaccines were transported by UNICEF as part of the COVAX facility, which aims to provide equitable access to vaccines for all countries around the world. The arrival of the vaccine was met by senior Kenya government officials led by Health CS Mutahi Kagwe and UNICEF representatives.
This is a fantastic moment. We are all very excited about this particular event, receiving the vaccine for the first time in our country. We've been fighting COVID-19, we've been fighting this virus, but we have been fighting it with rubber bullets. But this time round, what we have received here is equivalent, metaphorically speaking, to acquisition of machine guns, bazookas, and tanks to fight this war against COVID-19.
The first consignment of 1.02 million doses is part of the initial allocation to Kenya of 3.56 million doses. UNICEF is providing 1.02 million syringes and 10,250 safety boxes to Kenya via global stockpile funded and supported by Gavi. However, Kenya already has enough in-country stocks of syringes and safety boxes for the first phase of vaccinations.
This is what's called vaccine equity, and we're really proud to be part of this process as UNICEF together with WHO to help bring these vaccines into the country for the priority groups that need it the most, so that Kenya can move forward in terms of the recovery from COVID-19.
The Ministry of Health has developed a deployment plan for the vaccines, with healthcare workers and other essential workers, including security personnel, being offered the vaccine first. George Gibare, the Secretary General of Kenya Union of Clinical Officers, says the union has welcomed the government initiative, bearing in mind the challenges the health workers have faced since the outbreak of the pandemic.
To demystify this is to involve people to understand where we are coming from and where we are going, and why we feel that the AstraZeneca vaccine is good for the Kenyans, and including the healthcare workers. There is no one who is an exception who cannot be worried of anything, including the vaccine, whether they are healthcare workers or not, if they are not fully informed. And the of great concern is where the government have come up with a provision that you will have to file, to sign an agreement, a consent, before you get this jab. And you know that we have several other immunization that is going on in the country, and we don't sign any consent. So this is an indication that there could be something, or rather a gap, where Kenyan can raise caution and also contribute to members actually staying away, or rather refusing to take the jab.
In the much-touted COVID-19 vaccine that is set to help a number of Kenyans, there are side effects and allergies reactions that anyone willing to get vaccinated should be aware before taking the vaccine.
I think it is good to get to know that the common side effects are common to other vaccines. These include the pain and swelling at the site of inoculation, and also fever. That fever will be just the whole body, and we have chills where people are feeling that it's cold. They cannot be able to understand if cold fever, and then we have tiredness, and some of them will experience headache. And if you feel that this is actually advancing, or rather being severe, then that is when you are supposed to call, or rather call your health personnel for purpose of guidance and assistance. But you are always advised to take plenty water. If you happen to take these jabs, you are advised to take plenty water and ensure that you are able to, even at the site where there is swelling, you can use a clean, wet cloth. Then you ensure that you are able to cool.
Many Kenyans are excited to have the vaccine as the first step in fighting coronavirus. The initiative having brought about mixed reaction, with some differing from government's most preferred way of fighting the pandemic.
First of all, mi siwezi chukua hii vaccine juu ya stereotype imekuwa nayo. Tumecheki majuu watu wakistereotype vaccine inafanya sijui anakuwa wagonjwa sijui nini. So first of all, I wouldn't take the vaccine for those reasons. Secondly, I'm at a point that I don't trust the government for its projects because of already existing projects, how they have been handled.
Hata tujui imekuja aje. Hatuna data enough about COVID and about vaccine ndio to judge kata chukua hii COVID na kata chukua hii vaccine. Sasa si tuko tu bwana. Mimi sidhani I am able to nijitolee kuchukua hiyo vaccine juu.
The arrival of the vaccine marks a new phase in tackling the pandemic, which has infected more than 100,000 people and killed more than 1,000 people as of Tuesday, with Kenya hoping to vaccinate at least 60 million people by the end of the year to suppress the virus. Dolly Mwirigi for Hope TV News Watch.